ground. And today is a very special day because not only is it our furthest trek so far on our Wessex League vlog, but it's also a derby game. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to say what derby game I think it is, but it's between Wessex League Division One rivals Cove versus Frimley Green.
You almost forgot the teams then, didn't you?
Yes.
This is the Clubhouse at Cove FC, and I'm going to say my first impressions, I absolutely love this. It's like a proper old school social club. There's a selection of beers on taps you'll see from the little video montage beforehand. I've got Foster's for myself and a can of Coke for Craig, and that was £5.50, which I think is really reasonable for that. Also, pin badges, because I love a pin badge when I go to the football clubs we go visit. £1, absolute bargain. There's a pool table in the corner, it's quite spacious, lots of tables and stuff. Obviously for when, after the game, the players and the officials will come together and have something to eat as well. Lots of beer in here for fans when you have before the game, during the game and after the game. Highly recommend coming in here. There is a nice little pub up the road, but if you get a chance to come to Cove, get down to the Clubhouse. Bobby, tell us a little bit about Cove FC.
Cove been a local club, been around I think over, as you can see, 1897 when it was established, so I think it's a good 126 years old now. It's had its ups and downs. It done very well early on in that century, and obviously, like most clubs, finances and things get in the way, and then you have dips and things. But generally, it's a very much a local club. We really work on the basis of getting local players. We don't go far afield and hunt players down. We want a local setting here. And basically the whole club is just made up of volunteers. There's no one paid. Here. And that's what it is. It is a typical local football club.
You've swapped leagues from last season. You're in combined counties. You're now in Wessex Division One. What's the biggest difference you found?
Well, before it happened, we didn't really want it to happen because we felt that the travelling would be so much more, and I think we just perceived it would be harder, not in terms of the levels, but harder in terms of travelling and keeping our players to do that travelling. But in reality, it hasn't worked out that bad at all. And whilst we are the ones that are always travelling because we're stuck right out along with Frimley, who we're playing today, and Ash. It's actually not that bad, and it's just as easy to go straight up the M3 and hit some of these clubs than it is to try and trek back into London on a Saturday afternoon, which is never a good time. In terms of level, I've been actually quite surprised because I do think the level is quite good. The grounds are good, and really I don't think there's much to choose from in terms of combined county in Wessex. I think Wessex is a well-run league.
You're talking about the travel. I mean, does it affect midweek games particularly? Obviously, getting players off work and having to travel, and
that's always the hardest one. That's always the hardest one. Is some of these lads, they won't finish till 6, and then a game's 7:45. We've got an hour's worth of travelling. We're only just getting them there. We're giving them a quick 30-minute warm up, and we're ready to go. But that's the hardest thing. And I think sometimes you look to the league to try to nullify as much of that as possible. Certainly, I mean, if the league were to turn around and say, right, you've got a midweek in the Isle of Wight, it's just ridiculous. How are you going to be able to do that? And so far, the league, hasn't panned out too bad. We haven't had any real horrendous midweek journeys. So again, you get on with it, really. That's what you've got to do.
And finally, Cove. How important are clubs like Cove to the local community?
Huge. That's one of the. As chairman, or vice chairman this year, and obviously chairman next year, the biggest thing we want to emphasise is that we're here for the community. It's because of the community that we exist. It's because of the local players that we can have a football team, and it's pretty much, if they support us, we'll always be here. If the community don't want us, then of course, but we're very lucky. We've got I think it's now 17 youth teams, adding to that each year on year out. So we've got a great youth section. We've got a really good under-18s team that now we're already starting to feed some of the players into training with the first team. And that's what it's about. It's that progression. We want a lad to start here in sort of kickers at the age of 5 and 6. And then in 20 years time or 15 years time, we want him to be representing Cove Football Club, and we want that boy just to be living up the road. And that, for us, is what it's all about.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time.
No problem at all. Thank you.
Wessex Frimley Green. Although they are in different counties, there's literally only 2 miles separating the teams. So yeah, it could be a fiercely fought battle today. Probably our longest trip we've done so far on our vlogging adventure. 75 miles approximately, but the journey was quite smooth, wasn't it? Up the M27 M3, so we've got here in plenty of time to kill. And surprisingly, this is only Matt's second beer of the day. So what's your views on today's game, Matthew? He's had plenty of time to write his stats on the car journey, so these are going to be good.
Well, we're looking at 2 teams that have both moved from Combined Counties League to the Wessex League Division One. Cove finished 16th in the Combined Counties Division 1 last year. Frimley Green relegated from Combined Premier League and ended up in Division 1, because that's basically what Wessex League do, to incorporate teams to keep them local. This season, Cove have fared a lot better, I feel. They're 5th in the league at the minute in the playoff positions.
Yeah, more than holding their own.
Their last 4 games, they won 5-2 against Millbrook, lost 2-0 to Ringwood, 3-0 to Alresford, and got back to winning ways in another local derby against Ashley United, winning 4-3. Nathan Connolly's their star man this season, 20 goals. He's been on the books of Aldershot in his time. He's played Wessex League football before for Shaftesbury and Downton. He's the main marksman, but he's been supported by Luke Edmondson, who's got 12 goals, and Kai Hampson, who's got 6. Interesting little fact about Cove is their best undefeated run this season in 7 games, so they've got the wins in them. That's from non-league HQ, by the way. I got that from.
Until it ended by Hugh Milton of all teams.
Yeah, 2-0. Frimley Green not having the best of seasons. They're 4th from bottom in the league. They've got 37 goals for, 65 against. Cove, interestingly, who are 5th, have got 49 goals against and 58 for, which is 49 is actually the highest of the top 5 teams, but they've got 58 goals, so there's always potential goals today, which is what we like.
Yes.
Last 4 games for Frimley Green, they drew 2-2 Clanfield, lost 4-2 to Downton, won 3-2 against Ashley United, again in a local derby, and lost 6-1 in the last game to Alresford. Their top scorer is George Keenan with 6 goals and Freddie Jones with 5.
They haven't got the best away record, have they, Frimley, on their travels?
No, I was going to say they haven't won in 7 games away, but then, like you said in the bar, this is not a big travel away game, is it?
No, so it might not feel like an away game as such, and you never know what happens in a derby.
I think he's coming back, yeah.
Good tackle. Oh, it's great defending.
Yes! Yes, Chrissy!
Rock up. Oh no, I'm in red in a minute.
Floppy.
Do this level though, don't they?
Go on. He's got players.
Well, half time here, and league form and the league tables well and truly gone out the window on this derby game.
Yeah.
Here's Frimley Green are currently leading 1-0 against Cove. Cove been a little bit underwhelming this first half. They haven't really got going, have they?
No.
Not much momentum. Frimley have been good value for their lead, and they've actually had a few good chances to extend their lead. So you can only hope that Cove will probably get a good kick up the rear end at half time and they'll come out with a bit more vigour. So what do you think, Matthew?
I think what you've summed up is correct. I think Cove haven't really got into the game. There's been spells. I mean, free kick from Nathan Connolly, well saved by Chris Hands in goal for Frimley Green. But Frimley Green had took the lead. It was a good run down the left wing, cross into the box, and unfortunate Sam Lynham turned into his own net. I think it bobbled up and he was trying to clear it.
Yeah,
and it sort of went in.
Intentionally put it in.
They need. It's been proper derby game. It's sort of been stop-start, a lot of tackles going in. I think possibly, you know, that's not really helped Cove. I think Cove need to,
the game hasn't flowed.
It hasn't flowed. I think if they could get the ball down a bit more, you can see Connolly's got class, you can see Edmondson's class up front as well, and number 7 out wide for them, Kay Hampson, very good as well. It's just a case of getting more flow going with the play, I think, sometimes.
I think Frimley have defended well. And
They have.
Number 2, I've been impressed by their number 2.
Andrew Hill's been very good at right back for them. The 2 centre backs, Freddie Loveridge and Ben Harris, also been very good, keeping sort of Cove quite, breaking the play up. And I don't think that's what's helped Cove.
No, exactly. So let's hope for a few more goals second half.
Will do.
Wow! Shoot!
Ball.
Shoot! Oh!
Oh, well played.
Fred, if you need, yes! Fred! Fred!
Hat-trick time.
For the other side of Bournemouth. I can't even get a full time. At least he got the kicker.
Chris, 1-0 down at half time to come back 2-1. Happy with that result?
Yeah, happy with the result. Definitely wasn't happy with the first half performance. I thought we were slow out the blocks, we weren't quick enough in midfield, we weren't close enough to the forwards, we just never got going really. We didn't get going last week until the second half, we didn't get going this week until the second half. we can't keep giving away silly goals. But you know what? They few harsh words at half time, put things right, and I thought we were much better the second half, much better.
I mean, your team showed real character, to be fair. As soon as you got the equaliser, it was pretty much all you guys from then on in, I think.
Yeah, and that's what we sort of said at half time. We got to put more pressure on them, get closer to our forwards, especially when we're sort of playing areas in behind them. Also, you've got to turn around and say fair play to Frimley. Yeah. They made it so difficult. You know, well. And how they're sort of down the bottom of the league, because I thought first half they played us around.
Yeah.
But as a team, I think that's how far we've come as a team. Last year, the year before, we'd have died. This year, we got a load of fight in us. So, yeah, fair play to the boys. They took their half-time talk pretty well. And they responded. They responded last week, and they responded this week as well.
You're fifth in the league currently. Was promotion the target at the start of the season?
No. No. Listen, we're fifth in the league. They're a good bunch of lads. They're a good bunch of mates. We sort of set out at the start of the season, and realistically last season as well. We wanted, you know, instead of going out hunting, we just wanted local boys that were going to come together and work hard as a team, and that's what they are. They're just working hard. Some days they have good days, some days they have bad days, but they're a hard-working team.
And finally, this is a ground hopping vlog. What would you say to anyone who's interested coming down and watch a Cove game?
Come and see us. Until you come down, you don't know. There's a lot of things that happen in a game down here, but you'll always get a good game of football.
Well, it would be the Cove fans and staff that would be buzzing tonight, because the final score was Cove 2, Frimley Green 1. Thought Frimley Green looked good value for their lead up until about the hour mark. Cove started to grow into the game, and then pretty much Frimley was stung with conceding 2 goals in 5 minutes through the danger man, wasn't it?
Yeah, Nathan Conley.
Yeah, turned the game on its head. Winner was through a penalty, but then they looked comfortable after that. Confidence flowed through the team, didn't it? And Frimley didn't really have much of an answer.
I think that's a pretty good summary of the second half. As soon as they got the first goal, a bit of a scramble from the corner, whether it crossed the line, was a bit of controversy on that.
Yeah.
But Nathan Conley was there to turn it in. The second goal, it was a handball, unfortunately. Bounced up, did hit his arm. Penalty dispatched brilliantly by Conley. And then after that, I think it was all Cove. I think Frimley Green started the second half the same way they ended the first half, but they didn't capitalise and didn't take the chances that they created. And then as soon as Cove got the first goal, you could see why they're fifth in the league. Lot more flowing play, I feel.
A lot more composed on the ball second half.
More composed, and a lot of that was down to Michael Bertou and Callum Jones as 2 central midfielders for Cove. I thought were brilliant today. They were sliding into challenges, winning those tackles. Not necessarily fouling, good tackles, and then they were just setting the play up for Connolly and Edmondson, and in particular Kai Hampson out wide.
Some impressive players they've got for Cove, but yeah, just to end on a note, thank you very much. There's some fantastic hospitality today. Yeah. One of the best clubs we've been to, made us feel really welcome. It's really made the long journey worth it.